The Hump, episode 2, Death and Taxes.
The sequel is always dark anyway.
Yeah, it is always dark. If you think of like Empire Strikes Back, it's dark. So we go for the jugular in episode 2. The Hump, episode 2, Death and Taxes. Welcome to The Hump, your show about how to get one over in this thing called life. This is Brent Bowen.
Chad Beeland.
Welcome, everybody. If you didn't see episode 1, we're not officially online on the blog and on Stitcher and iTunes and all those good places yet, but you can catch us. There's a recording on Facebook because we did Facebook Live last week. So people, if they want to figure out what this is all about, because we're not going to rehash all of that again. We've done it twice already. I think that's good enough.
Yeah. We might have lost like half our audience, though, because with all the Facebook crap that's going on right now.
Oh, that's true.
We got to find those other avenues because,
Yeah.
I think people are fleeing Facebook in droves.
Yeah, they're boycotting. Yeah, I saw a lot of that boycott, and then they got online today. Zuckerberg got online and was saying, "Hey, we're going to clean up the problem." That's probably a whole different topic. We're not just going to be on Facebook. This is the easiest venue. Kind of get us out here, get us recorded, so you'll see us other places. So beer of the week this week. I've yet to sip this. Actually, I've had it before, but
it's delightful.
Cheers. Have you had it before?
I have had it before. We got a little Prairie Artisan Ales, No Chill.
No Chill. I selected this. Prairie was one of my top breweries. They're based out of kind of the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. They were one of my top breweries of the year, and I picked No Chill because we're recording this on the second day of spring.
Starting to get to No Chill.
We're starting to get to No Chill. This is wishful thinking, this selection.
Yeah, Oklahoma beers, man, they're definitely underrated. There's some good ones out there. Prairie, I love all their stuff, and you also have Rough Tail,
and this one's comparatively is kind of light.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's like the ABV on this is light.
I think this might be the lightest one they have. They usually are in the 12-13% range. So
the irony of that too is that you and I are a big fan of like going into a brewery and like filling a growler or crowler and bring some home.
Oh yeah.
Just did that and brought you and your lovely wife some nice beer. Matter of fact, that was almost our selection tonight.
But I came this close to wearing that shirt, but
Becca threatened to nut me if
really?
if I cracked open that can. Yeah.
Should have just brought more back. Like you can get new clothes. You can't get that beer here.
I know. She threatened, and if she hadn't hurt herself, which we're going to get into later, I would have in fact cracked it. But I couldn't hurt. I couldn't take advantage of somebody so afflicted. So while we're having a couple drinks of the beer, there are a couple people that we want to toast probably at the beginning of the episode here.
Yeah, definitely like to give a little shout out and a toast to our young friend Brock, who has been battling cancer for a while, and he's had some things going on trying to get the word out there about lymphoma and whatnot.
Yeah, so Brock, a.k.a. we call him the Ultimate Warrior. We've known him since birth, friends with his parents. He was up for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Student of the Year. They were running a campaign, and I think they announced they wrapped it up last weekend. And he finished second. He finished runner-up in the fundraising. So shout out to Brock, man. That was awesome, dude. I know we threw you a little scratch.
Yeah, he's doing great.
He's healthy. He's in remission or now cancer-free. So he's got a clean bill of health. And he's got some nice soft lettuce, man.
It is. It's like peach fuzz. I love it. He's a tough kid, though, man. That was a big battle, and he made it through in record time too. I mean, he was a beast.
Yeah,
he is the ultimate warrior.
He is totally the ultimate warrior, which is so apropos. The other group I want to send a shout out to, folks will learn this soon enough, is if I hadn't mentioned it, I'm gonna take a sip first. I'm on the board of directors for Kansas City Young Audiences, which is all about introducing or helping facilitate arts education to children. There are a lot of budget cuts all across the United States, particularly in the arts. And so Kansas City Young Audiences really works to kind of fill that gap from a funding standpoint and arts education. And one of the things, I found out about it on social media. It wasn't even brought up at a board meeting. It was kind of crazy. I was telling you about it before. Is Andre's Chocolates are selling KCYA or Kansas City Young Audiences chocolate bars over the next couple weeks. So probably Easter has something to do with it, I'm sure. Yeah, put a basket. But if you want to get something, if there's anybody watching or listening that, have kids and they're looking for something for Easter, you can help arts education for kids and get a chocolate bar at Andre's Chocolates. So, and then the other thing, if you want to meet me and Chad, if you're here in Kansas City and you actually want to meet me and Chad live and say hello, we're going to be going to one of their events soon too in April. Oh, April 14th. Yeah. You've forgotten, Ed.
I did forget, but I just remembered. Please tell me more.
Please tell me more. Well, so what's cool about Kansas City Young Audiences, they do not only kind of traditional arts like ballet, but they've started a garage band program. And on April 14th at 1 o'clock, I think it's a Saturday, they're going to have a food truck. And they're going to have several teenage rock bands that practice there all the time. Actually, they're going to perform. So
some shredding.
So they are going to, yes.
I'm down.
Yeah. So if folks want to come out, we'll be there. You can say hello. Just don't interrupt. Well, it's going to be hard to interrupt.
There's so many groupies. What are we going to do?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, we'll be there. Come check it out. It's a great place. They're out on 36th and Main is the building. So that'll be awesome. So let's talk about some awesome stuff that happened last week. Like, we witnessed history.
We did. That was something. I just happened to catch that game. Just happened to be flipping around watching the UMBC game in Virginia. Amazing stuff.
And you were. It's been as amazing after the game too. Like the guy that runs their social account.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, I loved the way he was mixing it up and calling Seth Davis out and some other people. Then before the UMBC Kansas State game, they were going back and forth the two channels and having just some good witty banter.
That makes me happy. Just the fact that he called Seth Davis out, because Seth Davis, he is, well. So for folks that don't know, I'm a big KU guy, University of Kansas guy. Not, yeah. But Seth's a KU hater. Like, he had the 16-1. I was so relieved.
He did pick Penn.
He picked Penn.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't believe that game. It was nuts. And even though it put my team, Kansas State, in a foul light, I've read some articles how K-State was Darth Vader, because we had to be the ones to knock off Cinderella. And, if I wasn't in that, have a vested interest in that game, then by all means I'd been rooting for them. But the Cats came through.
Yes, they did. I was rooting for them. I told you I was going to be rooting for the Cats. It was a house divided in a weird way. So Beck and I, we had the game on.
Yeah.
Beck and I were rooting for the Cats, and then G and his girlfriend were rooting for UMB. It sounds like a bank. I know so many banks that it's like they were going to the bank that first game against Virginia. That was just crazy. That was crazy. But G and his girlfriend were rooting for UMBC.
I get it. It's exciting. I mean, everybody wants to see David, take down Goliath. But the Cats did it. My Kansas State Wildcats are in the Sweet 16, which for you as a KU fan, this is something, every year you experience this crap. So it's a little more rare for us. I think it's 2010 was the last time we made it. So it's some sweet, sweet moments here before tomorrow night's game.
All right, let's prognosticate. Yeah, it's tomorrow night. And I'm definitely rooting for. So it'll be 2 weeks in a row I'm rooting for K-State because
against Kentucky. I mean, everybody hates Kentucky.
They got more than a puncher's chance, you think?
I mean, it depends if Dean Wade shows up. If Dean Wade can play, I think they got a decent chance.
I think they have a decent chance. I mean, one, they proved to get in that last game, both of their games, and we saw this through Big 12 play. They're defensively sound. Like they scare me. The only thing that kind of concerns me about K-State going into that game. And not to devolve, we won't go weekly into sports talk. It's just like this is super timely.
Yeah,
And we witnessed history, and I think it's kind of cool that we have 4 Big 12 teams in the Sweet 16. Is that what was surprised me in the last game against UMBC is that they didn't move the ball like they traditionally do on offense. That didn't look like a Bruce Weber coached offensively coached team. The defensive side, they looked sound and they were awesome, but
that game was hideous. I mean, it was even hard as a Kansas State fan to watch that game because, they uglied it up just enough to win the game. But, they get Dean Wade back. They got a chance. If they don't have Dean Wade, though, I think they're hosed because Kentucky's just massive.
Yeah.
I think their point guard's like 6'6". So.
Yeah, they're a big team. They're super long. They gave us all that we wanted when we played them earlier in the year, when KU played them earlier in the year. So, okay. So you think they make Final Four? They get past Kentucky?
Yeah, I'd say so. That means they're playing either a 7 or an 11 seed.
Yeah,
Again,
Loyola or Nevada.
Chance.
Okay.
Kentucky's a game. They get past that. Who knows?
Who has a better chance, K-State or KU, getting to the Final Four?
That's almost a tough call. Any other year wouldn't be tough, but you got Duke on the other side. You got Villanova. Final Four can make it. Championship game, I don't know. That's going to be tough.
Well, if KU clears Clemson, we most likely have to play Duke, although Syracuse surprised me by beating Michigan State. So I don't think many people are giving us a chance to get past Duke. It'll be interesting to see. So, what's funny is we were talking about the tournament last time, and as we were discussing the tournament last time about it being a great time to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
This last weekend, I also discovered what it's also a good time for, watching the nonstop basketball.
Yeah.
And little life lesson, I'm glad I have this behind me. I spent probably, no kidding, 16 hours this weekend getting my taxes organized.
I think I'd rather have a vasectomy than do my taxes.
It was horrible. I was spread out all across the living room. Becca could tell you I had specific stacks. And, I was pretty diligent throughout the year because you saw me. We'd go to coffee or we'd go get drinks or I'd meet with a client and I keep all my receipts.
Yeah.
I would actually keep all my receipts in envelopes. But what I didn't do was then necessarily get them entered in electronically. And so it's like I wasn't even doing my taxes. I was
doing the work
to hand them over to an accountant, and it still took me a ridiculous amount of time. So, man, that is one life lesson. Now that I've run my own, that's the only thing thus far that I'm not so keen on running my own business is having to pull that shit together.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
For taxes, and Becca and I were talking. It's okay, you need to do that quarterly from here on out. You need to get it all. So I've got a big spreadsheet, and I actually need to look at I have software that could probably do it, but I haven't set up the hours to do the software. So
there's some technology, an app or something you can just take a picture of the receipt and it does it. But
there is, but even then you have to enter all the metadata. So it's a matter of do you do it when you make the purchase or you incur the expense, or do you do it all at the end? And so I sat there and watched basketball and yelling at the dogs because they would step on and knock over a pile of receipts.
Yeah, I can only imagine with your dogs.
Yeah, well, Foggy had his ass all over some of my...
Hey, give it right to the IRS.
Yeah, that's where it belongs, I guess. Anything behind you that you're glad it's behind you?
I'm just glad winter's behind. It's I'm done, man. The older I get, the harder it is to deal with winter and ready for some nice weather.
Are you and Di at the point where you guys are jacking with the thermostat? Are you having the thermostat battle?
No, we just have it set on a program and just let it run. And there's complaining about the temperature, but no, for the most part, it is what it is.
Yeah, Becca was complaining, and this will be the full topic today. But this is the first sign of aging.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about getting old, obviously.
Yeah.
Becca she and I have been having the thermostat battle because she said, I'm starting to get cold. This is the first sign of aging. And I'm leave it where it is. I'm fat and hot.
Yes.
You can put on layers.
Yes.
but I'm fat and hot.
You can warm up. It's hard for me to cool down.
Yeah.
Well, there's always menopause. Yeah, but once she hits that, then you're both going to be at the same temperature. Just
for a period of time. For a period of time. But if she's anything like my grandmother was constantly cold.
Yeah.
They lived in Oklahoma, and we would go to visit, and we would bring like ice packs and like layer ourselves in ice packs because she wouldn't put on the AC in July in Oklahoma.
Yeah. My grandma was the same way. That's nuts. Like, they just didn't grow up with it, maybe. I don't know. But always sweating at my grandma's.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
And I wasn't fat back then.
Yeah, I'm sweating now. I'm sweating now. So, all right, what do you got going this weekend?
Going to a wedding. Yeah, I got a family wedding here, so it's pretty exciting. And, see some people, hang out, have some fun.
You can bring me back some beer?
Actually, I will. There's actually a good brewery down there. It's in Wichita. It's Central Standard Brewing. It's a good place. Good offerings. I'm definitely planning on heading there.
I like that IPA. What was the IPA we had last time?
It was like
when I was on airplane?
Laser Light Fog Show or some shit like that. But it was good.
Yeah, it's kind of tropical, kind of grapefruity. It's got like grapefruit IPA.
Yeah, they actually do some stouts pretty good too. So,
I'm not sure we've had one of those.
We had Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes.
I don't know how I remember these names.
And I don't even have I left my phone on the other side of the room, thankfully. So
yeah,
I needed to do that. Don't have me check on tap.
So I'm definitely gonna work some time in to watch some basketball.
Watch some basketball. I know I'm upset. So probably a few folks watching will be over here on Saturday. So I'm having the not so annual. I had enough guys. They're coming over. So we're going to watch some basketball and try craft beer. I got about a dozen folks that are coming.
Oh.
They're going to be over here. So I'm trying to figure out, Becca and I were like, do we make chili? Do we do pulled pork sliders? Again, me not wanting to prepare food. It's like, dude. Pizza.
Hard to go wrong with pizza.
It's the go-to. It's that go-to. But yeah, so we're going to be drinking some craft beer and watching basketball on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. So don't worry. Dangerous Man will still be here. The question is whether the Canadian Breakfast Stout will still be here. It's my last bottle. I'm contemplating.
I wouldn't open it up for those knuckleheads.
Yeah, we'll see. I might flip a coin on that.
No. No.
You think the Canadian Breakfast Stout needs to be dedicated to one of these?
Yes, I'm down with that. Let's do that.
All right, you and I'd be hammered by the end of the show.
Yeah. It's good stuff, though. I mean, it's hard to find. It's impossible to find now.
Well, we've alluded to it kind of coming up to this point, but we're going to talk about a little bit about getting old. So we came to this. This was one of our topics anyway, but we might as well just launch right into it.
This is definitely the darkest episode. We're talking about taxes, getting old, getting fat, like vasectomies, like, man, we're just running the gamut on the
scaring people away in episode 2. That's the way.
A little more upbeat. But
Jay, we scaring people away in episode 2. We're doing okay. Yeah. How many offensive comments do we have this week?
It's just all positive from Gary, to be honest. God, Gary says beer is greater than clothes.
Beer is greater than clothes. I would agree.
All evidence to the contrary.
Becca, there's 2 in the relationship now. 2. I wanted to buy a whole suitcase while we were in Minneapolis. Extra suitcase.
That would have been a wise purchase. Just go there, buy the cheapest suitcase you could find, and fill her up.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's dark, but we're going to have to address it at some point. So Becca, I landed on it officially because Becca hurt her knee today at work.
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation was funny as hell because I said, well, how'd you hurt your knee? And she said, it's my fault. I go, okay, what do you mean it was your fault? It's like, did you cover the floor in butter?
Right.
Or banana peels? What do you mean it's your fault? Because she said, no, I was moving too fast. I'm like,
brain's writing checks the body can't cash. Yes.
Apparently. And you know that with me, I reached that point where I'm starting to move slowly a couple of years ago because we went to go play pickleball and I got a little too aggressive and then blew out some muscles to where now I look like Darth Vader when I go to do anything physical. It's like all compression. You got to squeeze that shit in.
You were messed up for a while on that too. Yeah, you probably needed to see a doctor, but it'll heal on its own.
Yeah. You remember the guy at the bar at Chicken and Pickle?
No.
So you helped me. You helped through the, like we were at war or something. You're
Yes.
like
Carrying you out.
carrying me out to the bar. We go to the bar, and the guy's like, ice bag. And he immediately went and grabbed me an ice bag.
I do remember this now.
And then I throw my leg up, and for folks that weren't there, I basically tore my calf diving because we started to get a little aggressive, and I planted hard and dove for a ball, and then it just popped.
Yes. There was a pop.
There was a pop. And what'd you say it looked like?
It's like you got shot. You're like, ah! I mean, it wasn't pretty.
And then just crumpled, to the ground. So we get to the bar, and I throw my leg up. The guy had gotten me some ice, and I say something to the bartender. You remember I said, I was like, you must see this all the time. And he goes, oh, God, you middle-aged men. He's like, what was it? The first
day they were open, somebody tore their ACL, and
within the first hour.
40-year-old adolescence, man. We like to think, remembering the glory days.
Oh, what scares you about getting old? Like, so it's like Becca today. Like, that was eye-opening for Becca.
Yeah.
Because she was, I never thought about moving cautiously. I didn't think I needed to do that. Yeah. This is the woman who does the fake staircase walk. Like, she's never probably going to do that again.
Oh, man.
Or I might have to get her drunk before
She'll do it if she has a few drinks. I'm confident.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of like the older you get, the more you become like a hypochondriac. Like, you kind of feel a little twinge or something. You're like, oh, God, what was that? But I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm tired more. And it began, is that I'm getting old or is that I'm getting fat? Is it a combination of both? Like, what's the root of the problem here? But, it's a little scary, I'll admit.
So how serious were you before we got on air? You were having a conversation with Jay about working out. How committed did he convince you that is he gonna drag you to work out or what?
I'm not working out with him, man. He's like chiseled and no, but now that the weather's turning, it's time to start, shedding the winter coat, so to speak, and we'll get rid of it.
All right, a little more pickleball, you think?
A little more pickleball, a little more just moving in general.
Moving, okay.
Probably watching 16 hours of basketball is not helping, but
no, not helping at all. Or these high in sugar content are probably not helping.
Yeah, but this has lots of vitamins and minerals in it, so it's kind of
it's good
what
for
a growing boy needs.
It's good for dementia too. So, and I want to keep that faculty as much as the rest of it going too.
Yeah, that is scary though. The prospect of like kind of losing your mind. Like, I understand that my body's probably going to be giving out at some point. I haven't treated it probably as well as I should, but it's scary to think you might start losing your faculties, and that's what scares me more.
And I can't remember if it was today. It was earlier in the week. I can't remember if it was today or the day before, but it was like National Parkinson's Day, and I was on the board for the Parkinson's Association. And it is kind of hard to watch. And my grandfather had dementia. That part's hard to watch. So I pay as much attention to those things as I do kind of the physical aspects. Although, because we haven't had heart disease really in the family, but need to start paying a close attention. Yeah, you and I need to get out and play pickleball. So
do lots of Sudoku and word games. Keep the brain working here.
Well, that's what I switched to digital and also doing analog. Like, I think that's a good way to kind of train the brain. It's like write as much as physically write and do things analog as much as like focusing on digital stuff. Because as much as it works different aspects of the brain. As fixated as I am with tech and as much time as I spend on tech, a lot of times I still like to take my notes analog just because the recall's so much better. It's just crazy the way, I think your brain processes the way you input the information completely differently.
I literally try to write as little as possible. Like, my penmanship is, I can print, but that's it. Like, no.
Well, I'm not saying it's good legible. I'm just saying I put it down, whether I can read it later or not. Who the hell knows? So, all right. Yoda's told me we're at time, so I went ahead and he can only make about half the episode on that light.
He's getting old too.
He
He's
is
like
getting
1,000
old,
years
too.
old now.
Yeah, you know the beauty of that is having him behind us. No matter how fucking old we feel, he's 900 years old.
Yeah.
So that
He looks it.
He looks it. So, all right, quick Triple D discussion. And for folks who may not recall what this is, we're going to throw out a scenario each week and discuss whether it's a dick, douche, or dumbass move. This week's Triple D scenario, we did the car one last week, and if you're driving slow in the fast lane, this one actually is a personal favorite of mine because we know somebody. I'm not going to name names, but we seriously used to hang out with somebody
Well, I mean, you know,
that used to do this all the time.
most of the stuff in this is plucked from like our experience, but yes.
So this week's Triple D move is someone who constantly tells you how much stuff or how much. Of course, I got to botch that. Someone who constantly tells you how much stuff they buy. Someone who got. Whew. Let Chad.
I'll read it.
Because I can't read apparently.
Someone
one.
who constantly tells you how much stuff they buy costs.
Yes.
People that are uber fixated on brand names and wants to make sure you know that they spend a lot of money on that item.
So this is the person who goes out and buys a Porsche.
Yes. Yes.
And will then tell you how much the Porsche costs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm into consumerism. I mean, I like things just like anybody else. I like nice things, but when people just get so worked up about, oh my God, it's this brand or, it costs this much money. Like, I don't give a shit. Like some of that stuff, I think you're an idiot for spending that much money on, some shoes or a coat or something,
And those are nominal. In the grand scheme of things, it's not like
it can
those
really
are,
scale quickly.
yeah, those are nominal purchases. Some of the finer things you and I like are like nice beer.
Consumables.
Yeah. Things that just go into our body, they taste good, and then it's like after that,
A meal.
Yeah, a meal.
Something
Coffee.
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 La Colombe.
La Colombe. Yes. Little plug for La Colombe. All right, so what would you consider this? You dick, douche, or dumbass?
A lot of these almost always fall into one category, and this one is no exception, maybe more than any of the others. It's a douche move. I mean, you're a D-bag. Anybody that feels the need to tell me how much your shoes cost, your car, your house, whatever. I don't really care.
Now, let me ask you, is that same theory or hypothesis apply if they saved a lot of money in this said purchase? So if they got it for half price and they're telling
Oh
you.
God, that's my. I mean, this is my dad, man. Like, every time I see him, he has 5 stories about. Oh my God, this shirt originally cost $80. Your mom had a coupon. She got it on sale. It was in the clearance bin. She paid $2.99 for it. I'm like, fabulous. Like, I like a deal as much as anybody, but I don't need all the particulars.
So you think that you've got a coupon for extra douchiness?
He just likes a deal. He doesn't like a deal, but
yeah, you don't need to tell everybody about it.
I don't need all the details.
I would agree with you on the original premise here. The people that come out and tell you how much something cost is clearly in the douche camp.
Switch camera two.
Trent. All right, so you think you charge the battery for a show? Are you a dick douche or a dumbass? Are you dick douche or a dumbass?
I think we're off now, are we?
No. We still live? We're still
I
live.
think so.
All right.
This falls under the. This is the perfect ending to the getting old episode.
So, yeah.
I don't know how to work this damn thing.
Yeah. The camera got old and tired and shut the hell up.
You're like a VCR blinking 12.
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? That's called investment in an extra battery pack, like the extended battery pack. That's happening on Amazon.
Have a plug-in?
It probably does. I just didn't do it. And I got a whole power strip and everything there. So this would fall in the dumbass camp. How about
Definitely.
that? Yeah, the dumbass
There we
camp.
got a bonus triple D.
Yeah,
today.
bonus triple D. Well, as we're talking about triple D, want to throw out, I'm going to mention something that's going on that's cool. I just saw it today. Do you hear about this thing? The
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Rogers Kindness Crawl.
No, I have not heard about this.
So Mr. Rogers is making a comeback in so many different ways. I guess they're doing.
Is he dead?
He is dead.
Okay.
But they're doing a documentary about him because they're feeling like there needs to be more kindness in the world. They're doing a documentary about him.
Amen.
And then they're doing this cool thing, the streetcar with KCPT and Alamo Draft House are doing this cool charity event this Saturday, where you basically are doing like a pub crawl, but instead of a pub crawl, it's a charity crawl where you go and help, like for people in need that are need food. You're building peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, very
and then
cool.
you bounce from place to place to place, and it's like 5 or 6 different places. So I want to give a shout out to that. I don't know anything about it other than I saw that, started reading about a minute or two of it.
You had me at Kansas City Streetcar and Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
And helping others.
And helping others, which I thought that was kind of cool. So they're doing that this Saturday. You can find some more information about that. I thought it was a good way to kind of book in the Triple D. Talked about a douchebag. And how do you not be a douchebag? Well, go out and help somebody.
Others.
Go help somebody else. So speaking of that, thanks for hanging with us. If you enjoyed today's episode and the fractured components of it, yeah, it was bad, real bad. Go out to the He Says, She Says Facebook page and follow us if you haven't already. And also check out the He Says, She Says KC blog. Soon you'll be able to subscribe to us and rate us. Leave us a comment and all that cool shit on your favorite podcast platform, such as iTunes, SoundCloud, and we are up on Stitcher. And once Jay gets off his ass and gets some things put together, we will actually have audio, which it'll be much better than the video. So with that, everybody, have a good night. Take care.